Welcome everybody. IdoNotes episode 122 brought to you by Connectria, your number 2 in North America right now for hosting performance. This one is about the Playbook and Lotus Traveler. It's IdoNotes episode 122, putting Lotus Traveler as Android on the BlackBerry Playbook 2.0, brought to you by Connectria, one of your top hosting companies now rated. Hey everybody. Getting a lot of questions this week, a lot of emails, a lot of feedback. Everyone's asking about, can I put Traveler on the Playbook? How do I make it happen? What are the options? What can I make it do? Tell you what, we're going to take a look, sit down, look at some up-close video, and talk about what you can do to integrate Traveler with the Playbook for those of you who have it. And for those that don't, OS 2 is huge and you should take a look at what we have inside the videos on BlackBerry today. We did a great review for about 20-something minutes, just talking all about Playbook OS 2.0. All right, everybody, so we're sitting down now. We're going to switch over live and look at the actual Playbook using the camera and talk about some things you're going to get in here. So as you can see, it's a standard interface. Everything you can imagine. If it gets a little blurry, we'll try to clean it up. But the first thing most people are doing is going into their browser that's on here. And once they go into the browser, they're trying straight to go to their server that hosts Traveler. And what we're finding is a bunch of people, you'll get in, and I've already authenticated, so I've already taken care of that step. On this as a test server. But as you can see, the choices don't include anything that we want in terms of running this. Now you do see Android, and a lot of people are like, oh, I can run Android apps on Playbook 2.0. The problem with that is you got to sideload them, and we'll actually look at the machine behind me here in just a few minutes when we start talking about sideloading. But for now, we'll say, okay, well, let's try Android. Let's download it. It's going to go ahead and it's going to grab and say, let me download the APK. These APK files are not eligible for you to load directly. They have to be either converted or we have to do some side loading. Downloading them direct does not play the Android files. So we'll save it. Download is complete. We'll actually open the download. There's the file that's in here. I've downloaded a couple times playing. We'll open it up. No default app. It doesn't understand how to do these currently inside of here. So let's close that and let's say, okay, well, what if we went all the way back out and went into standard messages? Now I don't have it set up yet on purpose. But we'll look at standard messages, and what we're going to find on standard messages is that you've got the ability, and I had a little wiggle there, sorry, that you got the ability to do a setup of different choices. So let's look at the choices. So we've got email, Facebook, Twitter, which we talked about on BlackBerry today, but we'll look at the email choices, and it says, you know, give me an email address and try, or there's the advanced feature, and the advanced feature is where we're going to go. Because now I have Exchange, a Gmail, a Hotmail, an IMAP, a POP, Cal, whatever it is. Well, let's say I want to try to use ActiveSync, right? They say it does ActiveSync. We'll give it a descriptive name. And this descriptive name is, thanks to our sponsors today, the Connectria Mail, right? Let's say that. It'd help if I spell it correctly for you. And we'll say Connectria Mail. There we go. Don't really need a domain. Username. Well, what is that going to be? The username could be a common name. It could be LDAP compatible type name. It could be your notes name. So we can try it a couple different ways. So this is a test server. Let's try the notes names. Now it's going to ask you for an email address that this should be applied to. That's straightforward and easy enough. It's going to ask you for a password, and you can show the password. So you guys know what to expect there. So once you get the password done, it's going to ask you for what server. So we have a test server up just for today. We'll try that real quick. SSL, push, sync interval, continue. Let's see what we get. Says incorrect, change your settings. So it's basically saying you can't use those. So if we go back and we'll try changing our name a different way. Let's try it through the hierarchical way that you'd find out there. We'll say O equals, let's put a comma in, right? And I should say O, didn't I? I meant CN. Now we'll say the O. Incorrect. So once again, it's not going to get back through those. So we can go about this through 50 different ways. We can try the email address. We can try whatever we want for the username, and I think we're going to get the same result every single time that we do it. So as you can see, it's not going to do us any good. We're going to get the same result no matter what we do. It's not going to be possible. So what we'll take a look at next is actually sideloading, which there's plenty of tutorials online. So we'll take a look at sideloading and see what we can get there. Because once again, we can't get on and we can't get into the settings to activate the device no matter what we do for the username. So we'll switch over and then we'll take a look at the other one and see where we get on that one. So welcome back everybody. It's been about 3 hours of loading code and testing things and playing around. I haven't done this all the way through yet. You're going to see it live in this video. But what I did is over here, I loaded the SDK for the Playbook tablet. I loaded the Air SDK. I configured both. I created a key file. I downloaded their local key structures. I built a bar file from the actual Android application from the Traveler server to run, hopefully on the Playbook, Traveler in the Android player, locally in the Playbook, to make it an isolated app and not as integrated as much. So I've got a bar file that's signed. So we'll take a look and we'll jump over. Hopefully that's clear. This is clear for everybody. I haven't, let me focus it for you again. If I've messed up, let me try to focus it again. So if you click the mail icon, which you can see down here, it's the mail icon that you'll see on an Android device. I click it. It'll take a brief second. It'll initialize. I already fired it up once. So what we get is the actual Traveler interface you'd see on an Android device playing inside of the Playbook. So once again, we'll go in and we'll play around with the settings to the test server. And I have not done this, as you can see. So I don't know what we're going to get. It'd help if I spelled right, but it's very late, and I've been working at this for hours. I learned lots about setting up the different pieces this evening. So the username should be the same. Now, I have not registered this device yet, so we're going to find out what happens. Now we're back. Lotus Traveler is connecting. There's Traveler Security. Activating this shows the administrator for the Traveler server can perform erase data, change the screen unlock, password rules, monitor screen unlock, lock the screen, whatever you want. I'm going to say activate. Traveler's contacting the server, so the app locally knows what it's going to do. I got the check boxes up on the right. Like I said, I'm not sure the local camera angle, but I'll move it around a little bit. I've got the mail and calendar and the contacts both selected. It can put it on the removable or on the internal memory. I'm going to leave it on the removable, of course. And I'm going to say finish. Contacting the server. Configuration was successful. Lotus Traveler is now operational. I am now running the Android-based app bar file of this. So if I click Traveler, there's no mail yet. It hasn't synced. If we can look up in the corner, it says syncing. I'm not sure the quality that you're going to see from the little camera because I'm moving around and it's late and I just don't care. We'll try to refocus it again. See what we get there. Bet you we'll get something good. So as you can see, it's actually synchronizing up in the corner. If we hit information, it's letting you know that's a navigation bar about the whole device. If I hit the icon, there's no mail yet because it's coming down. And in the very bottom right corner, it shows you it's the Android player. So in the next few minutes, we'll see mail come in this folder as it synchronizes down. And we've got Traveler running on the Playbook as an Android app. And you know what I'll do? I'll go ahead and I'll put the signed bar file up. Your Playbook must be running. And a few things that we'll talk about in a second after I let this sync. We'll do a follow-up live in the studio. Well, everybody, welcome back. So I just left the desk a minute ago. I let it sync for just a couple minutes. It says up to date up in the corner now, if you don't believe me. We now have mail showing up in there. Put a screenshot up for you. So, Traveler in the Android player, on the Playbook 2, bar files done, ready to go, and I can do everything. I'm able to select messages. I'm able to open the messages up. When I open them up, I'm able to get a reply. I can do trash. I have a bunch of features. It's going to bring the messages in, as you can see, so we'll get a few of those. I'll even go ahead and trash one so I can see how it works. It says, do you want to delete it? Delete it. And it actually goes down to the next message, and it nice and cleans it up for you and deletes it. And if I want to get fancy, I'd reach over and grab the BlackBerry and show the sync between the two. No reason to go that far, of course, based inside of it. Now, it's showing me all the different messages as I go through. So I'll be happy to put the bar file up if you guys want to play with it. If you have the BlackBerry 2.0, it's a signed bar file that you're able to do, but you must be in developer mode when you do it, and it's a side load. The steps are well documented on other sites. We'll probably talk about it in the next BlackBerry Today, but Crackberry does have it out there. So you just need to load one application to do your side loading. You're able to put the signed bar file in because I've already done the work for you, and you're off and running. So that's the best thing I can tell you right now is go ahead and get a hold of it, give it a try, and I'm going to run mine instead of locally. I'm going to run it in the Android because now that I've side loaded, I can load hundreds of apps that are already out there free on the web on the Playbook 2.0. Another IdoNotes podcast brought to you by Connectria. Holy crap, we need a nap.